What is good, guys? This is Charles from Team COG coming back with you. You guys will never guess this. First place. Hit him, Kelly. Tell him.
Elemental Hero Neos.
Yes. The man, like, oh, man, he got to top 4 and then got to first place. Like, his deck's actually quite crazy and quite nuts. Man gave me a run for my money leading up to top 4, and the man took it in the top 4. So, man, show us the list.
Only loss was to you, Charles. So pretty standard for the monster lineup. So we're running 1 Rainbow Dragon. I've thought about running Dark Rainbow Dragon just because, like, it really doesn't matter which one I'm summoning, but it's like, if I can get the ghost, then, like, hey, let's run it. Then the Neospatian lineup is Scramble, Panther, Scarab, Hummingbird, and Dolphin. We want this many targets because of the fact of summoning Cosmo Neos on your opponent's standby phase is massive, and just shutting them down is, again, it's huge. So good. And the only way they're stopping that is if they have the Ghost Bell. It's either Bell or skip your turn. Got to pull that off 3 times today. 2 Neos, just because I run 3 copies of Neos Fusion, and there have been times where running 1, I have literally been like top decked, and it's like, I can't activate this, I'm in trouble. So obviously we have 2. Yeah, he's a vanilla, but we can use him for other stuff that we will see later. 2 Spirit. I love this card. This card is phenomenal in the fact that can't be destroyed by battle when it's summoned from the hand. Searches any spell or trap that lists a elemental hero by name. So any of the Neos cards like Miracle Contact, My Favorite Contact, Instant Contact, like this thing makes the combo. And then him, and then I wish this sucker was a hero so he was searchable easier, but Crosskeeper is like, oh my god. The fact that you can discard special summon a hero, an elemental hero from your graveyard or from hand. So if you're needing to like recover, like, oh, I have a big fusion in the graveyard that I need to get back, then you do that. And then if a fusion monster is summoned, banish himself, draw 2, bottom deck 1. And like, just pure gas. Pure gas. Keep giving gas.
We love pure gas here.
We love pure gas. 1 Space Connector, just because of the fact he doesn't really help the combo as much, but he does help with consolidating Neospatians. Like, say you open 3 Neospatians with him and My Favorite Contact, then he starts the combo and will get you set up. But for the most part, our normal summon is on other better heroes. We run 1 copy of Celestial because we are running a small DPE package. Can literally banish it and another hero and draw 2 cards. Obviously, we know what this card does. But then My Favorite Contact, if you banish a Neos with it, you can use it to bring the Neos back. So you got to draw 2, and you don't really lose any value. And so, just a good card. 1 Shadow Mist, because sending her off of Engage Neospace is just free, because then you'll guaranteed get a search, because sending off of Engage Neospace is cost. Or if you summon, you get the fully resolve, then you get to chain block your search for spirit. So then 2 Stratos, only 2 because, again, like, depending on our normal summon, we're not using it a whole lot, but we can also recycle Stratos. Again, with My Favorite Contact, Miracle Contact, and then also 1 Liquid Soldier. 1 Liquid Soldier, because also off Neos Fusion, if you use this to summon Brave Neos, you still get to draw 2, discard 1. So you're still getting value out of him, even in ways that you wouldn't expect. Then for the Neos Fusion, for spells, we're running 3 Neos Fusion. This card is phenomenal for stopping destruction effects, battle, like being destroyed by battle, or shuffling back during the end phase, depending on if you really need to like keep a body on board. So genuinely just a good card. I love it. I hate that it's ashable, but it would be busted if it wasn't. 1 Miracle Contact, so that way if we do run out of gas, we can just activate Shuffle, or if we need to quick, or like on our turn, summon something big like Nebula Neos, Cosmo Neos, Air Hummingbird, or Air Neos, something like that. I wouldn't say more than 1. 1 Instant Contact, I've thought about bumping this up to 2, because it's just pay 1,000. If Neos is in your grave or on your field, you can summon whatever. So like if you want to summon Flame Wingman, you have a Flame Wingman that can attack and still gets his effect. So very little resource for 1 card. And the only thing that's the stipulation is having a Neos on board or in grave. Otherwise, it's just summoning a body. But even then, for 1,000, it's basically a better instant fusion, because it doesn't lock us into so many crazy things. It also summons any Neospatian, so if you want to get spicy and run Neospatian Dolphin, you can do that as well. 3 Engage Neospace. This card is phenomenal. Send a hero and a Neospatian from hand and deck for cost to then special summon a level 5 or higher hero If it's Neos, give it 1,000, which sometimes comes in clutch, but for the most part, you're using it to summon Spirit, and then you also add Polymerization. So giving you just more gas for one card, just having a second one in your hand. And so it helps with the combo, helps you keep going. The only stipulation is that you can't summon monsters except for fusions the turn you activate from the extra deck, which is kind of rough, but for the most part, and I had to reread that because before I was playing it like, oh yeah, no, it's just after you activate the card. No, it's during that whole turn. 2 Fusion Destiny, so we can use this with Celestial and Neos, because it just, for DPE's requirements, it's just 1 Destiny hero and a level 6 or higher hero. So if we need to get a Neos into a grave to keep our combo going, or to get us set up for our opponent's turn, then we do it. So obviously just good card. Thought about bumping it up to 3, making this a 41 card deck, but haven't found the excuse to do it yet. 2 Forbidden Droplet. This deck likes to break boards if we're forced to go second, so we just knock out what we can, send a Neos if you need to, send any card you need to get in the grave, like hell, even sending a Shadow Mist, boom, then you get a free search as well as a negation, so we don't have a problem with cards being in our graveyard. We just care about our hand being completely empty. Then we run, because this card's just too good, 2 Super Poly. We can use it on our monsters or on our opponent's monsters, obviously, and sometimes it will come in handy, like your opponent's trying to target a hero monster you have with a negation, like say Imperm Stratos, but you have a Neos on board. Okay, Super Poly, you make Brave Neos, and then you still get your effective Stratos. So it comes in clutch quite often, as well as like with Tier Limit running around in my locals and other things running around. It helps. I run the Garuda, so it also helps me break other boards. 2, a hero lives. I wanted to run 3, but I really don't like seeing multiple copies of it. Like if they Ash and I have the second copy, then that's like, cool, I win. Or maybe. But even then it's like, I'd rather resolve this card like once and then be done with it. So if I see 1 or more copies in my hand, it's like, damn, that's rough. But 2 is where I'm like, we're at a good solid point with 2. 1 copy of Miracle Fusion allows for us to have the clap back on our opponent's turn, or just summon more bodies and get just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where they can't deal with the board size, or we just attack for game with whatever we summon. 1 Call by the Grave, because hand traps suck,
yes,
as well as grave effects suck. D-Shifter kind of hurts a bit, so we want to be able to hit D-Shifter. We want to be able to hit the Ghost Spell if we do get the ability to activate My Favorite Contact. So, good card. 1 Rhoda. This searches Crosskeeper, which is huge. So, like, obviously searching Stratos or Crosskeeper, but more than anything, this has won me games just because of the fact it's been able to search me Crosskeeper when the rest of the hand was dead. So it's like, all right, here we go. 1 Poly for obviously the search, and then 1 copy of My Favorite Contact. This card is unbelievable. So it's field, hand, grave, banished. And it doesn't say face up banished. So like say your opponent's Eater of Millions, your Neos to the banished pile. You can still fusion summon with that, and then whatever you're fusion summoning can't be returned by either players to the extra deck. So you can't compulse it, and you can't do a lot of other things like Sun Avalon and stuff like that. They can't bop it back. Tier Laments can't bop it back. So like this card is phenomenal. I wish it wasn't a trap, but it is still good as a trap. I only run it as a one-off because it is searchable by Spirit.
Awesome.
And then for the extra deck,
Yep.
for the Neos composites, we have Nebula Neos or Cosmo Neos. So good. Shut off your opponent's turn, hot King of Calamities, basically. However, he can't miss timing, which is an amazing thing. So standby phase, flip, summon, can't activate effects or cards for the rest of the turn. Boom. 1 Rainbow Neos. MVP, the send to shuffle has been huge throughout the whole day. It sucks that it's not a quick effect, but I can understand why it's not. Nebula. Nebula is the second composite. He's also part of the combo, but such a good card. The fact that you draw equal to the cards your opponent controls and negate a face-up card. Oh, so spicy, so spicy. The new Neos fusion, Flare Wingman, or Shining Neos Wingman. Gains 300 for every monster in your graveyard. Pops equal to the number of different attributes on field when he's summoned, and then can't be destroyed by card effects. Like, he just gets huge. And, like, depending on the interaction, you can sometimes summon that on your opponent's turn, and there's an eruption or other instances. One copy of the Air Neos, Italian, because might as well. Again, this card is great. I think the highest I've gotten it was 9,100 today. One Dark Neos, just because, again, he's an Impermon leg, so if we bait out a bunch of things or, like, need to negate something, we can. Grand Neos, free Compulse, really good. Also on a 2,500 body. One Flame Wingman. Flame Wingman as a target for instant contact. That's the only other way we're summoning him. And then we use him usually for link material to make Infernal Divisor, or if we make Flame Wingman, or Neos Flare. Brave Neos, because he's so generic. Like, one Elemental Hero Neos and a level 4 lower effect monster, which is every single Neospatian or Connector or any of our heroes aside from Spirit and Neos himself. So just value out of his butt. Also, if he destroys a card by battle, he gets to add any card that lists Neos in his card deck, so more search. One DPE, we know what he does, he's good.
Yep.
Again, right there, one level 6 or higher hero monster and one Destiny hero monster. We run Absolute Zero because we run the Aqua Dolphin as well as the Liquid Soldier, so really worth it. You can send him off of Droplet, negate your opponent's board, and then blow up your opponent's board. Just a genuinely good card, and he's hard to deal with. So, like, if Mirror Jade remove him, still gonna pop. Kaiju remove him, still gonna pop. It's just when he's sent to grave, so a lot of interruption. Sunrise, because he searches the Miracle Fusion, also boosts our hero monsters because all of them have so many different attributes, as well as just like attack boost is good. Attack boost is really good. Garuda, because we can summon it with Super Poly, monsters that are the same type, different, or same type, same attribute, different names. Running rampant right now. One copy of Starving Venom, just because 2 darks saved me a couple of times against Tearlament. MVP, I've thought about turning him into the Draco Stapelia, the one that's the fusion in a dark.
Yeah, like a negate too.
Yeah. I've thought about him, but Starving Venom has come in clutch way too many times, as well as the fact of, like, they try and get rid of him and they have to think about, like, well, I'm going to lose my board if I do, or I have to have mostly normal summon monsters, and then Infernal Divisor. This guy is ridiculous. 2 hero monsters, doesn't need to be different names, doesn't need to be different levels, anything like that, just super generic. And then on summon, reveal a fusion monster, add its fusion materials. So you summon him, reveal Nebula Neos, boom, you just searched out Grand Mole and Dark Panther, so that way you have the ability to lock it down and either summon Nebula Neos on your opponent's turn or Cosmo Neos. So he just helps with the combo, as well as he's just a normal hero monster to get link plays off. Like, if one of the things you can do is you can instant contact, summon, if you have Neos on board, summon Flame Wingman, link 2, summon him, boom. Now you have the Flame Wingman and the Neos in the graveyard to use for fusion material, and then you also have the Neospatians in hand for fusion material now. So it's just pure gains.
Awesome,
just
awesome.
Stonks,
my man. Well, thank you so much for your profile. And congratulations on getting first place today, my man. So
appreciate it.
Awesome. Remember, guys, stay healthy, stay safe. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.
Be good people.